Well, hello, everybody. I am so glad that you are tuning in today for our Facebook Live with the amazing Mr. Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown and I have become friends. We've known each other for not quite a year yet, but this gentleman just continues to impress me again and again. And I know we did one of these a couple months ago, and there's a lot of really good feedback from it. And Jeff is in the know. He's constantly reading on this stuff. He's studying in it all. And he's constantly sending me updates and news articles and different articles from the science world. He's got a connection into a whole different world that I don't. And he breaks it down and makes it very simple and helps me to understand just how powerful these products, and when we're talking about with CILI By Design, our amazing Ageless product is what we're going to be referring to when we go on through this little interview that we're going to be doing here with Jeff. Jeff's going to be doing most of the talking, but if you've got questions you would like to drop or you would like to have answered, drop those in the comments. My wife is also monitoring this. If we don't see them real time, we will get back to you, or Jeff or I will get back to you through this thread to be able to answer those questions for you too. So if something pops up, feel free to write that in the comments. If you want to let us know where you're tuning in from as well, that always helps out. Let's see, what else do we want to cover here? This whole area of longevity, if you're not familiar with it, it is really starting to take root. I have another friend, a Facebook friend. She runs a very high-end rental property business. And I caught her, she had on one of her reels or stories, a book. I hadn't seen the book yet, but it was on longevity. And I'm like, man, this thing is really starting to catch on because more and more people, you're starting to see more and more posts about it and everything else. So what we want to do today is bring you into the fold. So if you're totally unfamiliar with this whole area of longevity, and what do we mean by longevity, and Jeff is probably going to explain this a little bit more, is that you can live longer with greater vitality. That means it's not just about making it to 100 years old and, and crippled in a wheelchair or laying in a hospital bed. No, it's about living to 100 years old and still playing bocce ball or going out for your walk or your hike or riding your bike. It's about living longer with greater vitality. And this science is real, and it's been around for a while already. And it's just getting better and better as more and more scientists and doctors are doing this research. They're uncovering more and more. And so I don't want to steal much of Jeff's thunder here, but I'm really excited to see what he has to share with us and with his knowledge base. For those that are unfamiliar, Jeff Brown, he lives in Denver, Colorado, along with his wife, and he worked in the medical field for over 30 years. And he was a surgical first assistant. And what that basically is he's the guy in the operating room working with the surgeon, hand in hand, making sure everything's going properly. He'd worked with robotics. He's done the vastness of different type of operations that he's been involved with is across the board. So he comes with a lot of medical expertise and background. The other thing is he's also a kidney survivor himself. So he takes health at very serious, and he can relate with other people that have gone through serious health challenges. And so Jeff just brings together a combination of things we don't have from another member in CILI By Design. And it's just my good friend and a warm welcome to Jeff. And Jeff, if you'd like to just say a few words before we get going.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Brilando. This is going to be very informative. It's also going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. But one of the things that really caught my attention about longevity medicine, as well as CILI By Design's products, was the fact that when I decided to take this class, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to find. And as I began to get into this class, I joined CILI By Design almost a year ago now. And I began to see things in class being taught in lectures that we have been talking about for over a year in CILI By Design. And these products and these minerals and vitamins and things of that nature, the ingredients were found right in CILI products. And that really blew me away. And it also let me know I was on the right track. Not that I had any doubt, but it was more confirmation to me that this is where healthcare is going. This is the future. So what we're looking at these days, we in our profession in medicine, what we want to do is keep you alive longer, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to keep you healthier. It
Mhm.
just means we can keep you around longer.
Right.
So the goal in longevity is to keep you around longer, but keep you healthier longer. And you're going to see why that's so important as we go through this discussion. And you're going to see why you're in the right place with CILI by Design.
Awesome, Jeff. So let me just explain. Jeff has just recently completed his second longevity medicine course, and where they go through all this science, and that's what he's going to be talking from as well. So as we get into this, let me bring up this. We do have to cover a quick medical disclaimer because we are also talking about our CILI by Design products in here. Just understand we're not making any medical or healthcare claims, not been approved by the FDA, and they're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illness or disease. So with that being said, Jeff, please take it away.
Wow. So guys, let's start by taking a look at modern medicine versus the future of medicine or future medicine. Now, a lot of times when we're on these webinars and we're doing Zooms, I'll see somebody type something in and it'll say something like, how come doctors don't tell us this?
Yeah.
Well, the reason doctors don't tell you this is because doctors aren't trained to tell you this. So if we look at this graph that we have up here, I'm going to tell you exactly what modern medicine is all about. Just to so that you understand, modern medicine is more reactive, whereas future medicine is more preventative. So in modern medicine, we look at aging as a normal physiological condition that does not require intervention. We also look at it like this. We can keep you alive longer because we have better medications, better treatments, and we can deal with these age-dependent pathologies. In other words, these age-dependent diseases. And I know we are talking about a medical course. So when I'm talking about this course, and then I talk about CILI, understand that when I use the word medicine and disease, it's referring to this course.
There you go. Yep.
And our goal, like I said, is to extend the quantity of life, not the quality. I want to say that again. Quantity, not quality. And you end up, as a result, frail.
Is it safe to say, you said modern medicine is reactive? Would it be safe to say that future medicine is proactive?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
So now I'm going to step over to the right side. Now let's look at how we look at medicine in the future. We believe aging is a condition that needs treatment. We believe in using what we call geroprotectors, and I'll get into that in 1 second. And our goal is to prevent aging instead of preventing age-related diseases and vulnerability. And what that leads to is healthy longevity. Now, as with any discipline, the first thing that you have to learn is the language. And this slide right here was a slide that came up before I even got to the first lecture. And I want to show you guys something here. So I'm going to go on the left and then down and across. So we're looking at geroprotectors. Now, the geroprotector is a senile therapeutic that aims to affect the root cause of aging and age-related diseases and thus prolong lifespan. Now, I want you to remember this word, xenotherapeutics. Now I'm going down here and we're looking at during aging, chronic, sterile, and low-grade inflammation called inflammaging develops, which contributes to the pathologies of age-related diseases. Now, right on the top in the right, senolytics. Did you see that? Yep. Xenotherapeutics. And then we jump over here to senolytics, are a class of small molecules under basic research to determine if they can selectively induce death of senescent cells and improve health in humans. This word, we'll get into this word senescent cells. They're also called zombie cells.
Yeah.
And these cells, what they do when they're working properly, they're very important for healing. But they're supposed to die after they divide 50 times. And when they don't die, then they start giving off chemokines and cytokines, and this causes inflammation in other parts of the body. And the senolytics will kill the senescent cells. And just so you know, senolytics are in CILI Ageless. And then we talk about biogerontology. It's the subfield of gerontology concerned with the biological aging process, its evolutionary origins, and the potential means to intervene in the process. Now, and again, down here, we talk about senescence again. Guys, this page, when I saw this, the reason I knew a lot of these things is the research that I did on CILI. So we can go to the next slide, please. Now, this looks pretty, it looks pretty complicated. I'm going to make it really simple. So in aging and in longevity medicine, what we do now is we look at biomarkers of aging and longevity. Now, these biomarkers give us information that's very predictive and prognostic. In other words, when we look at these biomarkers, we can figure out, we can predict which disease and disease processes are going to happen within your body if you don't do something. And we can predict almost down to when it's going to happen and when you're going to start getting the onset of disease. So we look at this, and our goal in longevity medicine is to keep this from happening again. So it's data-driven, individualized prevention. And we marry this to artificial intelligence. So we take the biomarkers and we feed them into artificial intelligence, because AI can read these markers much faster than a human being. Now we use cutting edge research, science, therapy, and diagnostics. And we create an elite personalized participatory medicine and personalized science just for that person. Isn't that amazing? So just going from their biomarkers, we could look at certain data and figure out exactly what they need. And here it is. This is the future of medicine. Now, aging is not just a problem in the United States of America. Aging is a global trend. Now, why is that important? We're going to look at this, and I just want you to think about it this way. A lot of us are at the age where we could be considered ready to go into Medicare, Social Security, and things of that nature. When you have a lot of people doing that, let's look on the top. This is the aging of the population in 2015.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. Now you look on the bottom. Now look at the aging of the population projected in 2050. This is incredible, because when you have aging of the population like this, the green is your younger population. That means that you have people in the green supporting all of these people in one way or another, whether it's personalized care, whether it's feeding them, clothing them, taking them to the doctor. So this is incredibly important. Next slide, guy.
Okay. Hey, before we do that, I'm going to bring this down. I want to just share real quick, Jeff, if you don't mind interrupting. I didn't know anything about this stuff that you're talking about, right? And I knew we were coming out with this product, a Swish Ageless, and I was recommended to read this book, Lifespan, by Dr. David Sinclair, and he's one of the leading researchers in this anti-aging movement. And he talks about this economic impact quite a bit in this book. So what you're saying is very real. And there's some really smart folks that are going, hey, what's the long-term consequences of people living longer as well? So yeah, I mean, this starts opening up huge scopes in many, many different areas. So anyhow, let me go back to the slide. So here we go. Here you go, Jeff. Go ahead.
Now let's take a look at this slide.
Where'd it go? There we go.
There you go. Now, as we just talked about, aging is a problem across the globe. But now look at how aging affects the economics. We went from in 2008, $10.5 trillion was the US national debt. 2020, 26.5 trillion. And this is because of aging. This is because when people get to a certain age, especially retirement age, that's when we spend the most medical dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we're on Social Security, Medicare, and the system won't be able to sustain this for very much longer. So here's where not only do we do something to better our own overall health, but we do something to better the economic health of the whole country when we look at it this way.
Sure.
Now, Guy, this slide made me feel or realize not how old I am, but how long I've been in this business. So these are medical breakthroughs since 2020. I'm sorry, 2010 up until 2020. And believe it or not, I went into medicine in 1999.
Okay.
And you see here stem cell therapies. That's about 2010. And then here I am, robotic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. Look how far down this line I am. And this was 10 years in robotic surgery. And then we come up to 2014 when we start looking at hallmarks of aging, Horvath melanation clock. And then we get to 2015. Look at this, guys. Senolytics.
Analytics. Wow.
Right
Look at
there.
that right there.
Senolytics. And that's amazing, guy, because just as you said,
2015.
you knew nothing about these things before you picked up Dr. Sinclair's book. I learned a lot more after picking up Dr. Sinclair's book. And it was so detailed and it was so mind blowing that I just had to dive in more. My passion is people. Now, when we get here, I want you guys to Google age clocks, and you're going to find a lot. This is where the biological tests come in. And again, we get down here to genomics. We get to clinical trials of NR and NMN. Well, guess what MNN is in? Our product. These are NAD precursors. And then here in 2020, metformin, a trial that's going on. Now, metformin is a drug that's used for diabetics. But research has shown through this trial that metformin can slow down the aging process. Amazing. Next slide, please, Guy. Now,
Yep.
Go ahead, Guy.
Nope, no, you're good. You're good.
So now, the whole idea behind Ageless is to slow down and reverse the aging process. This is what Dr. Sinclair's protocols were all about. The protocols that we nano-sized and added our own formulation to it. Now we have 10 hallmarks of aging. Now let's look at genomic instability, telomere attrition, epigenetic alterations, loss of proteostasis, deregulation of nutrient sensing, mitochondrial dysfunction right here, cellular senescence, again, guys, right here, stem cell exhaustion right here. And these are primary hallmarkers caused by damage, response to damage, culprits of a phenotype. In other words, genes.
Yeah.
And these hallmarks tell us a whole lot of things. You can see a strand of DNA. They tell us a whole lot of things about how you're aging, whether you're aging well or not so well. And these are the things that we look at, and we can stop that in its tracks. And that's what the prevention is all about. The body was designed to heal itself if you give it all the raw materials. Next slide, please, Guy. Now, can we track the hallmarks of aging on an individual level? There's no universal biomarker of aging besides chronological age yet. So these biomarkers are not universal. they're individual. So they're individual to each and every person. And you can see the clocks that we use. Remember, I told you to go. I suggested you go look at the age clocks. So you can see all of these happening, all these things happening. But then you go over here and you look at the age clocks, and this is how we know. Looking at the lung clock, the kidney clock, the liver clock, and we could tell what's going on within the cells of your body. That's pretty powerful. And if we could tell what's going on within the cells of your body, and we know that these senolytics, NAD, and all of these things help, then quite naturally we're ahead of the game. Next slide, please.
Excellent.
Now, we kind of went through this pretty quickly, and we're going to have a discussion in a minute, and that's why we did it this way. But this wheel, this wheel is incredibly important. And I think Guy asked me, can you explain this?
Like, Jeff, do we really want this slide? I mean, that makes no sense to me at all. So I really hope you're going to enlighten me and everybody else here.
I promise you guys, this is not as difficult as it looks. So when we look at this, those 10 hallmarks, we'll start here at 1. And what we're trying to do with interventions of aging is recovery of heterochromatin, suppression of retrotranspositions, elimination of aneuploidy. Now, what this is, we have 46 chromosomes. Some people have 45, some people have 47. And when you have this happening, you'll get things like Down syndrome or Turner's disease and things like that. We also want to deal with telomere elongation, elimination of protein cross-links, suppression of chronic inflammation.
That's
Did you guys see that?
Right there, right? Chronic inflammation.
Chronic inflammation. Yeah. Maintaining acidity of lysosomes. Now, remember we talked about the process of autophagy. So when we speak of autophagy, that broken piece of DNA gets eaten by a lysosome. And the lysosome's waste is a brand new piece of DNA that goes into place where the broken piece of DNA was. Now that's incredibly exciting. So when this happens, when you take care of that broken piece of DNA, which eventually would become a mutation, now it doesn't replicate new cells with the broken DNA. Now it replicates new cells with the new DNA. That's pretty exciting. Here we go again, guys. Elimination of senescent
cells.
You see that? And here we go. Recovery of NAD plus levels. Our product is full of NAD. It's full of sirtuin activators. It's full of senolytics. I can go on quercetin, fisetin. I can just go on and on. And all of those things that I just named are what we call geroprotectors.
Okay.
That is amazing. What was so amazing to me about this whole thing is I don't know how other people think and feel, but I know how I think and feel. And when I'm setting out on a task, I want to gather information. I want to know that I'm on the right track. I want to know that I'm doing the right thing, especially in this business, because this isn't just business for me. This is personal. As somebody who had a kidney transplant, as somebody who spent over 30 years on the inside of the human body watching disease and disease processes. And trust me, a tumor doesn't start off as a tumor. It starts off as a cell. And when I look at these things and what's happening in this space, what I really want people to understand is when you start seeing medical courses like this, and this really, I was really happy about this. And the reason I was so happy about seeing this is because I could, for once in my life, begin to see a shift in the way we think in medicine. So we're going from being reactive to becoming proactive. And whenever you see this kind of a breakthrough, whenever you see something like this that comes on the scene, When you see the pharmaceutical industry get involved, I'm letting you guys know right now, we have a product in CILI By Design, and I have to take my hat off to Brad and Marcia Hager because they had the foresight to understand and to see what this product was and what it did for their son. And they knew they had to bring it to the world. And
That's
this
right.
excited me so much that here we are, controlled activation of longevity genes through these pathways. And guess what does it? Yes, CILI By Design products. Back to you, Guy.
All right, Jeff. Let me ask you this question. Thank you very much. Extremely informative. I mean, powerful. Uh, I love that science is actually taking this direction on the human body and where we're all headed, right? Because, like you said in the very beginning, medicine, pharmaceutical companies, and these people are all reactive. I always use the term band-aid, right? They're putting a band-aid on. And oh, by the way, I just do want to welcome, I see we got Denmark in the house, we got St. Martin's in the house, Curacao, people from various areas of the United States. So thank you all for tuning in. We love having you on board. And as I stated in the very beginning, if you have a question for Jeff or something like that, maybe we'll catch it, maybe we won't, but at least drop it in the comments and we can get back with you later on it as well. But I think about medicine and prescription drugs as a band-aid. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm totally about, if I chop off my arm, something happens to me and I need Western medicine to take care of me and to recover, make sure I don't get the infections and everything else. But we're talking more about on a daily maintenance type of basis, right, Jeff, is what we're looking at. So let me ask you this. And this question came up to me when you were going through this little presentation. In your 30 years of looking at the insides of bodies, what would you say has been some of the straight answer or question is, do people generally take good care of themselves and their bodies? And is there a way to do that naturally to try to keep themselves out of the operating room to begin with?
Yes. People, you have different types of people, of course. You have a group of people who believe that it's their healthcare provider's responsibility to take care of their health. Well, I'm going to be real honest with you guys. It's not. It is not your doctor's responsibility. It's your doctor's responsibility to treat you. So most people that we see are people who've tried their best to take care of themselves, including myself. So the average person, we're buying the best food. So we think we're shopping in the best stores. We're eating nice and healthy fruits and vegetables. We exercise and we supplement. We do all of these things. So the question is, if we do all of these things and we still get sick, then there must be something missing. The biggest problem for me was, and this was in a book I read too, one of the books that was recommended to me. It's easy to eat right, but it's also easy not to eat right.
You talking about, do you see me eat that piece of chocolate just before we got on
this? So basically, even if you have to go into surgery, let's say you're healthy, you're nice and strong and you're healthy, and you have to go into surgery, you'll hear people ask questions such as, I can walk out of the operating room and the family will walk up and say, well, how did he do? And I'll say, the surgery went fine. Well, he's going to heal really fast, isn't he? That depends on him. Mm-hmm. And so what I mean by that is that depends on how healthy he was before he walked into the operating room. Wow. That's what we mean by that. And if you're not very healthy going in, then your chances of healing are that much harder. So yes, people do try to take care of themselves, but I believe in today's world, with today's technology, we have better options, we have better information, and I hope that people will begin to take better care of themselves because it's easier and it's more convenient for us now, thanks to nanotechnology
Right.
and things of that nature.
And especially with our products. I mean, we haven't talked at all about the original product that CILI By Design came out with was a Swish CBD product. That amazing what CBD does. We have 0 THC. Many people don't understand CBD. It's another one of these things. It's kind of been kept out of the medical field, but all these other alternative doctors and people that do research into the cannabis and what it can do for the body, it's really important. We have an endocannabinoid system, right? And all we're simply doing with CBD is supplementing that endocannabinoid system. But even this product, we're not going to get into the glycobiological blend because I know that's what gets you the most excited when you saw this. But we got a glycobiological blend, we've got a mineral blend, we got a mitochondrial blend, we got a wellness blend. So this is a lot more than just a CBD product. And we have changed literally tens of thousands of people's lives through it. And then what we've evolved to, or haven't brought on, that Jeff was just talking about, we brought this out in February of 2023 this year, and this is our Ageless product. And this is going to have that mineral blend, the glycobiological blend, the mitochondrial blend. The wellness blend is going to change a little bit, and this is what's going to have the NAD in it. And what's really remarkable, and Jeff's mentioned a couple times, is nanotechnology. What nanotechnology means to all of us that aren't doctors is that we're actually going to get the nutrition into our cells. All right. So when you take a typical supplement, I mean, how many times have you taken vitamin C, extra amounts of vitamin C, and your urine all of a sudden looks a different color, right? We all know that. And that's because you're not absorbing it, right? But with this and this technology, you're actually getting that absorption. And so NAD is the main ingredient in this product because it's the lifeblood of the cells. Now, I did notice there was a question on here, and I don't know the answer to it. So I'm hoping Jeff does. GSH and NAD, are they equally important, or is there a priority? Are you familiar with the GHS?
GSH is glutathione. That's what GSH is. It's glutathione.
Oh, the glutathione. Oh, okay, great.
And NAD, are they equally as important? I don't know if I can say equally. I can say they're both important. They're both incredibly important. But so when we look at these things, I look at the completeness. That's what I want to see. I want to see the completeness. I look at the research. I look at, oh, and by the way, guys, nowhere in the literature did we talk about nanotechnology. So,
right. Yes. Yes.
You guys understand what I'm saying? Nowhere in the whole class, 101 or 201, did the word nanotechnology ever.
We are so far out in front.
So we are so far in front of the pack that there should be absolutely no way that anybody could catch up to us.
No.
Because we have the best. I'm telling you guys, Guy will tell you, he said this when we first got on. Sometimes I'll send Guy an article at 3:00 in the morning because I'm up, I'm awake, I'm excited, I'm reading this stuff, I'm going over this stuff. And every time I find something, it's like popcorn. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we are ahead of a huge wave here. And there's absolutely no reason, absolutely none, for a person not to seek better health when they have something that's this simple to use and this affordable, by the way. Just imagine those biological marker tests and then a personalized regimen that has to be put together for you. Why do all of that when it's right there in the bottle?
Well, and that was something else you said earlier. You know, what's this guy's name? He's pretty famous out there too. Gary Becca. And he recommends, I mean, Grant Cardone, if you've heard of Grant Cardone, he utilized it. I think he actually bought Gary Becca's company, 10X or something like that it's called. And he's really into all this. He's gotten into the anti-aging as well. And he does the biomarker testing before he starts seeing what a person needs. What we want to help you, the listener here and the audience, understand is you could do those biomarkers and it's great. You're going to get great information. But the way that this is already formulated, regardless of where your biomarker is, this is going to give you the benefits that you're looking for. Am I correct in saying that?
You're absolutely correct.
So
And
we're
I'll tell
bypassing,
you,
you're saving yourself so much money by doing it just this way.
yes, yes, you're saving yourself a lot of money, a lot of time, and you're getting ahead of the curve. So, and it doesn't matter. In one of the longevity courses, the question was, does it matter if you start when you're 30 or when you're 60? It
Okay.
really doesn't matter. But I
Get
can tell
that
you this,
question a lot.
guys. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you the truth. You plateau at 30.
Okay.
So you climb and you plateau right at 30, and you just stay there until you get about 45, and then you start going the other way.
Okay.
And this was also part of the training. And so if you think about it, from the time that you're born up until the time that you're 18, you'll see a neonatologist and a pediatrician.
Okay.
When you turn about 20, you get a primary care physician, right? Around 30, they start farming you out to all the specialists. And it just keeps going like that until you get 60, and they're still farming you out to all the specialists until you die. Now, what if you use all of these things that are being talked about in longevity medicine and Dr. David Sinclair's book? And I'm telling you, Dr. David Sinclair, he's been at this for about 25 years.
Yeah.
What if you started this now and you could add another, I don't know, 5, 7 years to your life? Would that be worth something to you? And oh, I want to bring this up too. It was kind of disturbing to me, but insurance companies also use biomarkers.
Oh, yes.
They look at these biomarkers, and I told you, they can tell when you're going to get the onset of these issues. They can tell within 5 years when you're going to die. And that's what they use, this information, to determine your premiums and everything. So wouldn't you rather walk in there with a healthy body and know that you know what they're looking at, and know that you're healthy? This is life changing, and it's more information than we've ever been able to gather. And the technology here, nanotechnology, I've been looking at this stuff since 2012, because we were looking at vaccinations and things like that, because they worked faster and lasted longer. But now we have it in the health and wellness space. And don't let network marketing fool you guys. Let me tell you something right now. I was very surprised to see this product in the network marketing space, but I wasn't worried about the space because I understand network marketing. I would rather leverage myself and do other things with my life than to go punch a clock. And even though I had one of the greatest jobs in the world, I would much rather do this any day of the week.
Well, and the beauty is through this industry of network marketing, if you're not familiar with network marketing, that's fine, but it's just a way to reach a lot of people. And instead of paying people, big companies paying advertising marketers, advertising on TV, stocking it in store shelves, they use people to spread the word. So we'd use a different business model to be able to do that. But the beauty is, Jeff's the messenger. I'm the messenger. My wife is the messenger. Everybody on our team from all these different countries that are tuning in are the messengers for the company, and they just share it with somebody else. It's beautiful, because the nice thing is, Jeff, even though you have retired from the medical field, you are still touching people's lives, maybe in a different way, but you're still touching people's lives and making them feel better, healthier, and just an overall better well-being, right? So that's powerful in itself. The other thing I want to go back to on that glutathione real quick is, even though you won't see glutathione marked in any of our products except for our facial mist, understand the way the formulations are done, they're helping the body to produce the glutathione, more of the glutathione naturally. And that's what's going to lead to the moisture looking skin, the nails and the hair, and a lot of everything else that the glutathione does. Our products are doing that, but in a natural way, rather than flooding it with extra glutathione from a particular supplement, if you will. The other thing that's really interesting, again, I'm going to show you really quick what this product looks like. So this is a a bottle of the Swiss Ageless that we kind of been speaking to. And if I put it in, this is going to be about a serving right there. It's 5 milliliters. And you just put it in your mouth, you switch it for a full minute, and then swallow it. It's that easy to take. Now, the interesting thing with this is this right here. Before we came out with the Swiss Ageless product, we had our Swiss CBD. But in the Swiss CBD, there's at least 3 ingredients that are part of Dr. David Sinclair's protocol for anti-aging, which we have in this Ageless. And a bunch of us went and did some bio DNA tests, if you will, and coming up with these different age reversal results. We can't say, again, we can't make a medical claim. We can't say that our product did this, but we have had probably hundreds and hundreds of people do these, and 99, 98%, maybe 1 or 2 or not. But anybody that had been on this product, not an ageless product, anti-aging product, that had been on this product for 3 to 4 years, came back with a reversed biological aging. This is mine. I threw mine in there at the very far right there, 4.1 years. This is my wife, 8.7. This is actually the owner of the company, CILI By Design. And what he had done, he had been on the product, obviously, for a long time anyhow, getting it going. And then when he decided that we're going to take this turn, or not a turn, but addition to our company with this anti-aging, he decided to get on Dr. David Sinclair's protocol. And he did this for about 4 months, cost him $700 a month, none of it nano size, a lot. I mean, it's like, I don't know, can't remember. It's like over 8-10 different items and nutrients. And think about all that stress on the liver, because the liver's got to break all that down. Remember, with our technology, we're bypassing the liver completely. Anyhow, the point of the story is, when he did this biological test, he came out 5.6 years younger. Then he got on the Ageless after this was all formulated. Now it's nano size, so he's getting directly into his cells. He was on this for 6 months, did another biological test, and he came back another 6 months younger. So basically, whatever, say 56, 55.8. So if you didn't catch that, he went forward chronologically 6 months. It went backwards 6 months biologically. That means for every month he's living chronologically, he's getting younger biologically. That is anecdotal evidence of how powerful this product is. So I just wanted to share that real quick too, Jeff.
Yes, and we get that. I get the question about glutathione a lot. And one of the reasons I like the way that CILI By Design formulated their product is because some supplements, they don't play well, if you will. So, and one of those is glutathione supplements. If you nano size them and you don't do it properly, then you'll start getting things like, it's a very, very delicate molecule, and it becomes unstable.
Okay.
When you nano size supplementation like that, it can become unstable, and what'll happen, it'll start to break down. It'll change in color, it'll change in odor, and it'll change in taste. So the way CILI By Design did it is they took 3 precursors. One of them your body makes naturally, and the precursors have been proven to be more stable, so that you don't get that breakdown. So yes, in CILI By Design products, you have glutathione. It just doesn't say glutathione. It's 3 peptides. It's a tripeptide. And I'm telling you guys, we're going to do this again, and we'll get into some other things about this product and what's in there. But for time's sake, this is the best product that I've seen on the market in a long time. It was so good that it brought me out of retirement to get involved with the company, because that is my passion, is helping people. And when I retired, I was so bored and I needed something to do. Guess what? To keep me alive.
Yeah.
And this is it. I love you guys. I love working with CILI. Brad and Marcia, Guy and Elka. What else can I tell you guys? The company is solid, is stable, um, and they're going to do what they said they're going to do. They've supported me in all sorts of ways, and I really appreciate it. And guys, they'll do the same thing for you. And I'm telling you right now, these products are second to none.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on and share your knowledge and your understanding. Oh, go ahead. Yes, you
I
got
got
one
one
more?
more thing. I got some good news for you guys.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention it. Thank you. Please.
I got some really good news for you
We were
guys.
chatting just before we got started on this, and I said, Jeff, we got to talk about this on the call, and I completely forgot. So please do.
So just before this call, maybe an hour or so before this call, I get a call from my doctor. We do a virtual visit, and he's looking at my lab work and he's looking at everything, and he says, Jeff, I think we could start reducing some of your anti-rejection medicine.
For your kidney transplant, right?
I had a kidney transplant 7 years ago, so we're reducing some of the anti-rejection medication. One of the medications can cause you to develop diabetes, and so that's the one that we're reducing. I'm not a diabetic, and I'm so happy that this is happening. And guys, he says to me, so what have you been doing? And I told him again. And he says, well, just keep it up. Guys, I am so happy that that medication is being reduced. And I can tell you, I'm in much better health than I was 2 years ago. I looked good. A lot of us look good, but that's not good enough anymore, guys. It's not good enough. They're looking deeper and deeper and deeper. So not only do you have to look good, you have to be good from the inside out.
I can't see who wrote this, but look at this comment. Wow, that is basically unheard of. As a husband of a former transplant patient, she always increased her meds. Wow.
Yes. And, not making any medical claims, guys, and I get incredibly emotional. About 2 months ago, if it was that long ago, I had a spike in some numbers, and it really frightened me. And I'll tell you guys, one of the most important things you can put in your body, water. And if you guys remember, we were having all those hot days and perspiring all over the place. And I went to a doctor's appointment and I was dehydrated and didn't know it. So when I get these calls and the doctors are really happy with my results, and I just wish I could tap people on the shoulder and say, hey, especially people who are going through what I went through, you need to take a look at this. You need to try this. And hopefully we're doing that right now, just tapping people on the shoulder and saying, take a look. But nobody wants to see their loved ones sick. Nobody wants to be sick, least alone me. And it was one thing to be the guy with the knife in his hand. It was another thing to be the guy on the table. And so, I mean, you could probably see the emotions that well up inside of me, but I've seen so many people get sick and die, and all they had to do was eat differently and exercise. That was it.
Yeah. So we encourage everybody. Here's what I would like to do. We got a lot of people on here looking at this live. We got other people that are going to be watching the recording. So get back with the person that invited you to take a look at this. If it was myself, great, get back with me. If it was Jeff, get back with Jeff. But it might have been another member with our company, and get back with them so they can help answer your questions and then help you get started here so you can get on this product immediately. I will tell you, if you're trying to decide, well, which of these two should I take them both. All right. If you're concerned, these are just $72.50 retail. All right. And you get a free spray with that. And the person that invited you here can explain that. But if you had to choose between one or the other, I would choose first. Whoops, I did that wrong, man. Wait, this one. All right, I'm watching myself on the screen and it's backwards. I would do this one. All right. Unless this is the Ageless, unless you have issues with pain, chronic aches and discomforts, sleep issues, or anxiety issues, that's where the CBD is really going to kick in to help you as well. But if that's not a primary concern of you and you got to choose between one or the other, I would definitely go with the Ageless. We're not getting any younger. I mean, we know now that this product, at least in some people, is proving to be working in that regards. Elka and I, we just ordered our new DNA test. So I'm excited to see where we're going to be 6 months after being on this product. But just get on this product, get back with the person that invited you here and get started and give it. And also, here's another thing, we didn't talk about it, but give it an honest try. That's 3 months. All right. You're going to just a month because of how this product works. It's just different. It's not a typical Band-Aid supplement. All right. You're going to want to be on this for several months, allow those new cells to be regenerated, allow those senescent cells to be, or that whatever that all that fancy stuff was, Jeff, allow that all to work for you. All right. And we just want to welcome you to CILI By Design as well. And Jeff, I can't thank you again enough being a part of our team and being willing to share your knowledge and expertise with everybody else.
You're very welcome. And I love doing this. I love helping people. And I love sharing information with people and make sure they get the best information to make the best decision. And I tell you guys, you can't go wrong with CILI By Design.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. And we will be doing another one of these, won't we, Jeff?
Yes, we will. Very soon.
Right. Look forward to seeing you then, too. Oh, and Thursday night, this Thursday, if you're watching this live, this Thursday, Jeff and I will be doing the product call. So you can tune in and see that. I'll probably have Jeff share again his testimony so you can catch that again. And if you've got friends or family members you would like to invite to that Thursday product call, I will have that posted up here on my site as well as the CILI Guy site, or the person that invited you here will also have the flyer for that. But that'll be Thursday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you there. All right. You all have a great night or day. Bye-bye.
Bye.